Hi, hello, and welcome to this new episode. I would like to show you today the Bookings app, complete new use cases. How can you use Bookings in Teams, in your handy app, and what do you have to do? And all around this topic, we will have a look today. You will find all these information on the virtual hub, many good videos all around the topic in Microsoft 365, and just have a look in the virtual hub for other topics. Yeah, my name is Alexander Eggers, and I'm happy to show you today all around Microsoft Bookings. Just follow me on my LinkedIn profile or on YouTube. There will you find more videos all around this topic, Microsoft Teams. And I will show also all the new stuff and use cases on this topic. So I want to start with Bookings Classic. So what is Microsoft Bookings? And just to give you a small introduction, as you see it here, Microsoft Bookings is a quick and easy alternative to scheduling appointments with your customers. A customizable public website allows your customers and partners to find available times 24/7 and make appointments with relevant people in your organization. Okay, this is the marketing text, and I will show you this in an example. So how was it usually as you make appointments with your customers? Well, you have to email them some dates and they will answer when it's free to them, or you have to telephone with them or make some messengers useful for this finding a date. But with Microsoft Bookings, you have the possibility to use your calendar that's already in the cloud. So when you want to use Bookings, you of course need to have Office or Microsoft 365, and then Exchange Online is in usage, and this Exchange Online depends on your calendar is in the cloud. So when your calendar is in the cloud, it's possible to give the possible customer a link, and in this link he has the possibility to have a look in your calendar and find the free dates and the free times. So he can book on his own a date in your calendar, so you don't have to talk about this very much and very long. What are the conditions, what you need to do this? As I told before, you need Microsoft 365 Standard Premium A3, A5, E3 and E5, or Office 365 A3, A5, E3, E5. Of course, Exchange Online is needed, and the admin's permission, because you can org-wide activate or deactivate this program. As you can see here, in the admin.microsoft.com settings, you can activate Bookings or not. So before we go in the software directly, and I will show you how this works, just to give you an overview, this is the Bookings page where the customer can choose a product and can choose the free timetable where he wants to have a date with you. So as you can see, it's not possible that he can see what type of meetings you already have. It's only shown at the bottom what are the free times, especially in this case for 25th of September. And further down in this web page, he can enter his details like name, email, telephone number or address, and also some notes. And as you can see here, it's also possible to have your own fields where something can be entered. So in my case, I ask the person also, what is the topic you want to talk to me about? Because maybe this date is in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I cannot remember what he wants to talk to me. about. So I can have a look in the scheduled meeting, and there is also this question answered, so I remember this much better. This is a personal part what you can bring in here in the Bookings app. So, and when the person books one thing, he can see this, and he can also cancel his booking or change this booking. This is in German, I'm sorry, but we will have a look in the English version right now. Okay, this is the emails that come up. Then this is a special thing, because when the customer books his session, he also gets a good email. You can see it here. It's well designed, so he has a remembering this date. It also comes an remember email as you want to. In the standard, I think it's 1 day before the date occurs. And this is the email, also possible to have an email as a calendar invite as add-on. As you can see here, it's the email that the person gets with whom the date was made in your company. So this in case is my email, because it's my bookings. And as you can see here, we have also the extra fields that we have entered in this section. So some tips and tricks around this. It's also possible to just send one product link. So the customer does not need to see all your products. It's that you can send him just a meeting invite for maybe a 30-minute meeting. So he cannot book the 2-hour meeting with you. The links are very long, so maybe you use some subdomains or bit.ly links, something like that. Of course, you have scheduled buffer times. This is really good, because when the person wants to have a date at, especially, for example, 9 o'clock, you can say, okay, we need buffer times, so half an hour before or maybe half an hour after this date, there must be also free time. So he cannot book exactly in a small pause between two meetings. So this is much better for your convenience to have not so many meetings after all. So there are buffer times. You can restrict the bookings period. So maybe when you're on a fair, on a trade fair, you only want to have bookings for this week. You can add this to this product. So it's only possible to book a meeting in this special week. You have additional queries, as I told you before, and you cannot invite a meeting room or enter a meeting room before. So when this booking is made, you need to manually add a bookings room. Okay, so this is the overview. And just to give you one more thing, we of course have a bookings app on the handy, on the mobile phone. You can see here, it's not the main topic for today, so just a view on this, what you can do here. And what we want to show is also the Bookings in Teams app. This is very special because we have this new from last year. And you can come to this app just when you go over the App Store, and you have here a link to Bookings, and you can open it. And as you can see here on the left side of the menu, you can add this app also, so you have still access to this. Right now it's also in your calendar. When you look in your calendar, you also have on the top left the possibility to add bookings. This is new. Of course, all users who use the Bookings app needs to have this license, as I told before. This is very important, so everybody needs the correct license for this. Before we go on the demo, I will show you once more 4 use cases for bookings, just to give you an idea how you can use it in some use cases. First of all, we have HR, human resources, because we can do very good interviews via, of course, Teams, and but we need the appointment for the employee or for the possible employee. So it's very great that we have bookings in Teams, because different to the classic bookings, in the classic bookings, it's only possible to have a meeting with one person. And maybe here in this case of HR, where the possible employee needs to have a meeting with 2 or 3 people, this is not so easy possible. So much easier is it when the HR people make an appointment with the possible employee, and he can have a look, or the human resources person, the real employee, have a look in the Teams app, and there he can see all the different calendars from the colleagues, and then this person can enter a new meeting in the Bookings app in Teams, and the possible employee gets also this invite. But it is so possible to have more than one employee in this booking. Second use case is service departments where we have something like a dispatcher. So when the customer calls and he wants to have a technical support, it's possible for the dispatcher to use this Bookings app to control all the meetings with the customers. And what's really nice, the customer gets this unique email of invitation where it says, okay, welcome to our company, and you have a date with one of these employees next week on Thursday, 10 o'clock. And also this customer has the possibility to click on a link in this email and maybe change this date or cancel this date. Maybe the technical problem is away, so the customer on his own can change this date or cancel this date. And this also is very good because the dispatcher does not have one more call, so it's just cancelled by the customer or rebooked. Third use case, classic hair salon, of course, the appointment with the customer. But the main difference here again to Bookings is that maybe the employee in the classic hair salon or in the hair salon can do the dates and the meetings as before, because the employee calls this hair salon, they are used to call the hair salon, and the person, the employee, can now change the dates. They do not need to use this big paper calendar where they enter all the dates from the customer. He can use the Bookings app in Teams. And also the person, the customer, when he has this solution for an email, or he answers his email, then he also gets this nice email for this date. And last use case is IT trainings or first aid course or sports coach. So it's also possible to have dates where more than one person can access this meeting or this meeting date. So when we have a group of 10 people, it's possible to say to Bookings that 10 people may book this time. And so when 10 people have booked this time is no more available. So now let's have a look in the Bookings app. So here you can see the Bookings app in Office 365. Here's the home, and we have different options. First of all, I want to show you the appointment type. So here we can enter a new appointment types like something 30-minute meeting, small description, meeting with Alex. You can enter default location or an online meeting. So it's already a Teams meeting. Default duration, as we said here, is 30 minutes. So we change this here. We need maybe buffer times. Before I want to have 50 minutes spare time, and after it I want to have 50 minutes spare time. And of course, we can enter here how many attendees we may have in this meeting. I will set it to 1. We can set a price and some notes for us ourselves. And I think this is mainly the things what we need to enter. And of course, which person is this assigned to? I will take here Alex Wilber and save this. So now we have a new appointment for Alex Wilber in Bookings entered. And what we can see here, when we go here, you can see that we can only share this page to our customers. But what we have to do before, of course, we have to publish the first time our main access site, our main website. So this is the start of the introduction. What we can use, you can change the color scheme here, and of course you can also enter your own CI. Let's see, we save and publish this. Okay, now we have published our website, and when we open this, you can see here's on the right side is our 30-minute meeting with Alex Wilber, and when I access this, you can see here it's Alex Wilber I can enter, and here are the free dates where I can book the date with Alex. Now we switch over to Microsoft Teams, and what we have is, of course, the Bookings app in Teams. I can add it here in the App Store, and as you can see, it is now in our menu. I pin it here, so it's always in the session. On the other side, I can go to Calendar, and you can see here Calendar and Bookings on the top left. So also this is a possibility to come into Bookings. I will do it on this way. And here we can see the 3 persons in our demo tenant that have enabled Microsoft Bookings. And also this is a possibility when you are a dispatcher to add a new booking. I can enter the entity name, it's maybe my name, with my email address and my telephone number, and the date. I need to add staff. In this case, it's Alex Wilber. And of course, we need a Teams meeting. And as you can see here, this is the reminders, 1 day for the attendee and 1 day for the staff. So I can change this and we can enter many different options, as you can see here, when the reminder email should go out. So I will send this, and as you can see now, we have now our meeting here accessed in Bookings. So this was a small introduction to Microsoft Bookings, and I want to give you also some tips and tricks and be aware. Buffer times, the start of the call. When you have buffer times booked, the entry in your calendar includes these buffer times. So when the start of the meeting is 9 o'clock and you have a 30 minutes buffer time before, the calendar entry in your calendar from the employee will be 8:30. So this is very important, because then you call the attendee at 8:30, he will say, okay, we have a meeting for 9 o'clock. And so you have to watch when is the real date because of the buffer times. Don't forget the travel times when it's not a Teams meeting and you go out. Well, we have Corona right now, but you have to remember travel times. This is very important. Rescheduling means that when the person only gets a 30-minute invite and he wants to reschedule, it's not possible just to see only the 30 minutes rescheduling product. So he sees all products, what you have in your company. This is not so nice, but not other way possible. Cancellation of a meeting may not be done in the calendar of the employee. So when the employee just deletes this entry, the customer or the attendee will not see this cancellation. So cancellation of a meeting must happen in Bookings. Scrolling in this app is not so nice, because when it's later in the day, it always shows the end of the day. So this depends on what resolution you have on your computer. And of course, the main topic, you have to organize your calendar, because when you are not organized in your calendar, it's not very nice to have employees or attendees booked times in your calendar where you maybe don't want to have a meeting. Yeah? So beware of this point. So thank you very much. This was a small overview of the use cases for Microsoft Bookings in Teams, and follow me on my social networks, and I'm happy to connect to you. Goodbye.